Today I'm going to show you the best way to complete the journal entry for Copper Mesa inside of Roblox Dig.
So how this is going to work is I'm going to give you a recommended loadout for each rarity. For junk rarity, you should be using the magnet shovel. For your charms, you should be using the imp horns, the ice picks, and the cauldron hat. For the common rarity, you should be using the solstice shovel with the basic magnet, and the charms are going to be the same thing. For the unusual rarity, you can use the same thing, but myself, I use the starfire shovel. You can use the green magnets, and then the same 3 charms. For the scarce rarity, you're going to use the starfire shovel, the fortuned magnet, and for the charms, you're going to use the cauldron hat, the imp horns, and the solstice bell. For legendary, the starfire shovel, the legendary magnet is recommended, and the same 3 charms is the last. For mythics, use the starfire shovel, then you can use the magic magnet, and then for charms, use the same as the last 2. For divines, it's going to be the starfire shovel mixed with the crimson steel magnet, and also the same last 3 charms. Prismatic is also going to be the starfire shovel mixed with the same 3 charms. Now that the loadouts are out of the way, we're going to be using those loadouts for each of those rarities, and now let's go ahead and get into the best locations for every single item.
Starting off with the junk items, the clay shard has an abundance just at the start of Copper Mesa. The water bottle and potato both have abundances in front of the salon, so you can see the water bottle and potato there. Sandstone has an abundance inside of the ravine on the way towards the glinted shovel. Moving on to the common items, the gold pan has an abundance on the hill going up towards the dinosaur. The sheriff's badge and goblet can be found anywhere in the sand area. The copper coin, raw copper, cactus chunk all can be found with abundances in the first open area once you come up the starting ramp in Copper Mesa. Granite and millipede can both be found at the starting ramp once you first get off the ferry. You can see both of the abundances right next to each other here. Moving on to the uncommon items, the cactus can also be found inside of the first open area when you get off the ferry, so you can see it just off to the left here. The smooth vase also has an abundance beside of the combat guild inside Copper Mesa. The lavender flowers can be found with 3 abundances near the ramp that takes you to Aloha Jungle. The washboard can be found anywhere in the sand, and the tumbleweed item has a ton of abundances scattered throughout the whole area. You can see a couple here inside of the canyon. Moving on to the scarce rarity items, the dead tree and dung beetle can both be found next to each other with abundances on the ramp in front of the salon. The camel and spear can be found anywhere inside of the sand. The lasso actually has an abundance in front of the salon right here. The citrine and megaphone can be found anywhere. I'd recommend digging on the rock for the citrine though. And the scorpion has a abundance next to the dino spine area on the ramp. You can see 2 abundances here. All right, moving on to the legendary items. The gold nugget, one of the easiest legendaries to get. It has an abundance inside of the canyon if you didn't know, so on the way towards the glinted shovel. The desert ferret and wagon can both be found anywhere inside of the sand. And for the pinata dinosaur spine jukebox, all 3 of these items are very commonly found inside of the dinosaur spine. This is a very popular spot to dig, so you should know where this is. For the vulture and velociraptor skull, these can be found anywhere inside of the sand. Moving on to the mythical items, the talking bass is a little bit tricky to get. However, it's going to be most commonly found in front of the salon. The bison and horse are relatively easy to get. You can just get them anywhere in the sand or rock areas. I'd recommend digging in the dinosaur abundance if you're struggling. The revolver can be found anywhere in the sand. However, I've had the most luck finding it in the dinosaur spine abundance as well. Moving on to the divine items, the laser saber. A good amount of people struggle with this one. They did recently buff it with the trading update. I personally have dug one up in front of the salon and also in the dino spine abundance, so pick one of those spots and dig there. The ocarina I found most commonly in front of the salon, so I would just recommend digging around this area. The burger statue's the easiest divine to get. It's very common inside of the dinosaur spine abundance. For the meteor item, I'd recommend digging anywhere inside of the canyon because it's going to be most common here, I've noticed. And also make sure it is a meteor shower because that's going to increase your luck significantly to get this specific item. Moving on to the prismatic items, there's one for this area called the griffin. They recently added this with the trading update, and you can find it in the dinosaur abundance area. This is where I personally got mine from. It was a little tricky for me to get, but I ended up getting it. It's not too hard, I've noticed. And then you need the basilisk fang and the basilisk, which if you don't know, I'll quickly go over. To get these items, you have to kill the basilisk boss. You can see here you have a 100% chance to get the basilisk fang and a 30% chance to get the basilisk. So after you get all those, that will complete your journal entry for the Copper Mesa area. Remember, there is a playlist available in the top right now, which is going to be all of my other journal guides for the other specific locations. So if you need one in specific, they're all there for you. Make sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any dig content on the channel.